just talking about, it was a tough game against them at their place, double overtime. So coming into this game, what did you take from that last game and implement into this strategy tonight?
Well, I think we had a better plan for how to guard their shooters. 24 just got all kinds of open looks against us there, and we did a much better job. They kind of started off tonight. They got a little 6-0 run in the post there, and kind of like we did at their place. We got some distance, and then they kind of reeled us back in. But I thought tonight we did defensively. We did a great job in that first half, and that fed us, to shoot, 59% from the field, 70% from three. So, our defense converted us into a really good offensive team tonight, particularly in that first half.
Talk about, you just mentioned it, 70% at three. What was working offensively?
Yeah, I think basically we had good spacing. We came into this game trying to play a little bit inside out, get it inside and kick it out. Larry set the table nicely for, the team. His teammates had 9 assists in the first half, and, guys were knocking down shots. Anytime Zach can get on a roll like that, that's big. Jason hit a couple of big threes. So, they're finding their spots, and when we get that ball inside, either by penetration and kick out or inside to a post and kick out, we get good stuff.
Down to Larry, just to kind of go on top of what we were already talking about with Coach, just from a player's perspective. As he mentioned, 9 assists in the first half. You seemed to, the floor just seemed to be wide open. Just talk about the vision tonight and being able to find your team.
This all has to do with my teammates, knocking down shots and being where they're supposed to be. If I got one of the best shooters in the country with Zach Mercado. I got big guys like Kirtis and Kyle, and, they just run the floor real well. And, without them, I wouldn't be getting assists. So, it just comes down to my teammates, really. Obviously I had to make the pass, but, they're the ones that get in the open spots and the open seams, and it just comes down to them being in the right place.
You guys played this team last time. I think you had like 26 points or something like that. Tonight, only 14, but if you count the assists, that speaks for itself. But so just talk about even the mentality coming into this game of realizing early on that the offensive scoring wasn't going to be on your shoulders, but more of the passing.
Yeah, whenever you score a lot of points against a team and then you play them again, they're going to key on you and make sure that, this guy doesn't do that to us again. And I felt like, they were doing that tonight pretty much, especially in the first half. And so I knew there was going to be people open, and I knew that I had the weapons around me that were going to knock down shots. And it just all goes down to us, doing our game plan well, listening to our coaches. And tonight we just got the job done.
Kirtis, talking about you guys in the post in particular, won the rebound battle tonight, but also came up with a couple of big blocks. Talk about really just the role that, you're not a starter, but in the same sense, coming in tonight and having a huge impact on the game, both in a rebounding standpoint and then on the defensive end. How have you accepted the role this year that you have on the team?
Yeah, I really like it. I enjoyed coming off the bench. I don't mind it at all. A role, I think, up to this point, it's still finding that role for me, and I found it. Got to do the dirty work, on the rebounds. We hit practice a lot this week. Me, Kyle, all the big guys, Ray. We hit that a lot in practice. Really worked on it. Doing your work early, keeping your guy in front of you. Tonight, just did what we did in practice and worked out well for us.
Talk about just again the mentality of it being. The fact of the matter is we're a lot smaller than most of the teams that we play. So. Whether it's in practice, whether it's, individually, how do you work on just the mental aspect of realizing that it doesn't matter the size, you're still going to go after that rebound?
Yeah, it's tough against bigger teams. Tonight, they're not, 6'9" guys, but, they fight just as hard in the post. It's that mentality of, not taking a second off, let them get that inbound or let them get that pass down the post, doing your work early. Fighting for everything you got. So, it's just scrapping for every little bit.
All right, Coach, big win tonight. Obviously at home, we remain undefeated at home. Talk about, the difference between being on the road and being at home.
Yeah, I think we get in a rhythm here. We have a routine that we do, and I think the guys enjoy it. And particularly our locker room, we're not going to let anybody in our locker room, but our locker room before the game is really good. We have a great Coach Wingreen has just done a great job of bringing to this team what we need in that 45 minutes prior to a game, and nobody's going to get in there and see what that is. It's not not anything we're ashamed of. It's just it's good stuff for our team, and he just continues to hit home runs each night in our pregame. When we go on the road, it's a little different. You got to get out of a bus, or you're coming from a hotel. You're not in your classroom, or you're not in your locker room, and we're still relatively young. And sometimes when you're young, you take comfort in what you know. And we know the DFH, and we love playing here. 4-0. We're just excited to be able to win games in front of our home crowd and appreciate their effort and energy in coming out and helping us. But we just, we've got to learn to play on the road, and we got a tough one coming up on Friday. Going to Toccoa Falls, they got some guys back that they didn't have the first time. They've been playing that 2-3 zone really, really well, and that's different for us. Thankfully, we have a couple of days to work on it and, get some looks at it in practice, and then, get on the road Friday and go down there and hopefully play a great game and go back to where it all started for us in the win column, where we got that first win last year as a program, and go back. And, I was really proud of this effort tonight because we beat this team on the road. And then we had to come back and kind of hold serve in our court. We beat this team at home coming up on Friday. We got to go into their gym and play better and try to come out with a W. And so I think we're up for that, and I'm excited about preparation. And hopefully, we have a chance to get back to 500. And that's for this team. I think that's extraordinary.